U.S. officials say Israel launched a limited attack against Iran overnight. Here's what we know so far. Iranian media says they shot down 3 drones near a major airbase and a nuclear site in central Iran. The UN's nuclear agency says the nuclear sites were not damaged. Iranian officials say there are no immediate plans to respond to today's attack. Now, this comes less than a week after Tehran launched a retaliatory strike against Israel for attacking an Iranian consulate in Syria this month. World leaders urged Israel to limit its response out of fear of spiraling regional tensions. CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins us now from Tel Aviv, Israel. Imtiaz, given how limited this strike was, what message is Israel trying to send Iran with this attack?
Elaine, it's really fascinating. If you take a few steps back and try to look at this sort of series of events that have taken place, all of them themselves were a message in some way. And the events of the early hours of this morning is no different. And I think what Israel is saying are 2 things. One, listen, Iran, we know where your most sensitive military assets are when it comes to your drone development program, your missile development program, and more importantly, where your nuclear weapons program, or not nuclear weapons because Iran only has a civilian nuclear program, but where your nuclear assets are, and that's in Isfahan, and that's where these 3 strikes took place. But I think the other thing that Israel was saying to Iran was this: we do want to de-escalate. We do want to bring the temperature down. Despite this attack that took place a week ago, carried out by Iran, in which over 300 projectiles were launched at Israel, 99% of them shot out of the sky, not only by Israel's missile defense system, but from support from the U.S., the U.K., and indeed other nations as well, that they will de-escalate. And that is significant because normally when Israel is attacked or targeted in any way, its policy is to strike back even harder, and that's not what they did this time. Elaine.
Yeah, Imtiaz, it's interesting. Iran's overall response to this strike seems to be somewhat muted. Why is that so significant?
In a way, it's to match the tone from Israel as well, right? We haven't actually heard anything official from Israel. In fact, we haven't really heard much officially from the U.S. as well. We tried to pin the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, to make a statement about it, and he was very evasive about it, and so is Iran. Although in saying that, for domestic consumption, Iran's state media has really played down what happened during the early hours of this morning, describing it more of what they described as not as an attack, but as an infiltration, saying that it was 3 small drones that were easily taken down. And again, I think it's part of this messaging that we've been talking about. Although the fear is that all of this could spiral into something more seriously, these are really nation states talking to each other in ways that are potentially very dangerous. Strikes, missiles, etc., etc. But it's very clear that not only is it Israel and Iran, but across the region and in the U.S. that they wanted this de-escalation, and it looks like they've achieved that for now.
Imtiaz Tyab in Tel Aviv for us. Imtiaz, thank you. While in Italy, Secretary of State Antony Blinken did not dispute claims that the U.S. received, quote, last-minute information from Israel about the attack on Iran. However, he reiterated the Biden administration was not involved in this operation.
The United States has not been involved in any offensive operations. What we're focused on, what the G7 is focused on, and again, it's reflected in our statement and in our conversation, is our work to de-escalate tensions.
CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes joins us now from the White House. So, Nancy, how is the Biden administration responding to this latest move by Israel?
They are trying to respond as little as possible, Elaine. It seems like they're following a playbook of less is more, and if they just don't comment very much on this incident, perhaps it will draw less worldwide attention. And that's because they are so concerned about the possibility of an escalation in the region as Israel and Iran square off. So you heard that comment from the Secretary of State this morning. All he would really say publicly is that the U.S. was not involved in this strike. But beyond that, he wouldn't even confirm whether the U.S. had gotten a heads up. And we've virtually gotten no statement of any kind from the White House itself. We do expect to hear from press officials later today, possibly even the president, who will be in front of the press a couple times today, certainly has the opportunity to make a statement about this if he wants to. But right now, the indications that we're getting from across government, from the White House to the State Department to the Pentagon, is that they would rather not touch this if at all possible, and just let the whole thing simmer down.
Yeah, it really underscores just how delicate a situation this is. I wonder, Nancy, what diplomatic options are still available at this point for the Biden administration to de-escalate the situation now?
Well, you know what they were trying to do all week last week, Elaine, was to argue to the Israelis, you don't need to strike back against Iran. Yes, they fired, sent hundreds of drones and some ballistic missiles in your direction, but look, almost all of them were shot down. They caused very little damage. This shows that you have the military prowess that they do not possess. You've got lots of allies. You can just leave it there. Now, obviously, Israel didn't fully heed that warning, but this was a pretty anemic strike by Israel. You know, it was much, much smaller than what Iran had sent Israel's way a week earlier. And it seemed designed not to do a lot of damage. Certainly, the Israelis could have picked higher value targets if they wanted to. So this really seemed to be potentially Israel saying, you know, we have to respond. We've got to show that we're not going to take what Iran did lying down, but we're going to try to cause as little damage as possible, maybe send a warning to Iran that we can strike their nuclear program if we want to, but we won't for now.
All right, Nancy Cordes reporting from the White House for us. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.